I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today, words of wisdom from Charlie Chaplin. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you can find links to my Amazon.com author page. That's where you can buy my books in paperback or for Kindle or in audiobook format. There's also a link to my Spotify artist page. That's where you can download my records. Last year, 2024, I had a 4-album set called Quadrilogy. This year, I've got a brand new pop album called I'm Possible. You can download those from Spotify or from anywhere that you like to download your favorite music all over the internet. If you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. But on my website, you can download free music that's available there exclusively. So check it out. Okay, Charlie Chaplin, a very quotable man, one of the great screen actors and writers and directors of all time, gave us The Little Tramp. And Charlie tells us this: it isn't the ups and downs which make life... It's not the ups and downs that make life difficult. It's the jerks. It's not the ups and downs that make life difficult. It's the jerks. Okay, well, this one is pretty easy, but it's just good to know. It's nice to share. Because life has its ups and downs. What Chaplin appears to be saying is it's the abruptness of the changes that make it difficult. Positive change is gradual, but trying change is sudden. Change does come, but when it happens abruptly, it can be horrible. It can be great, such as falling in love at first sight, but generally, when life changes quickly, it changes for the worse. Sudden death, tragedy, illness, divorce, things of the sort. The onset of bad news happens fast. But of course, Chaplin is saying that when he says the jerks, he means the people. Not at all a misanthrope. Chaplin, a man with great empathy and enthusiasm for his fellow man, was apt to say, it's not the ups and downs, it's the jerks. You know, bad things are bound to happen. It's the bad things, it's the bad people who do bad things that make life difficult. Misfortune can happen passively by circumstance. But there are people out there who try to create misfortune for you, because that will bring fortune for them. The con artists, the narcissists, the scams, the schemers, the thieves, the rogues, the sociopaths. They're out there, all over the place. They're the jerks. Paul McCartney, writing a poem about the assassination of his friend and partner John Lennon, called his assassin the jerk of all jerks. Well, that's probably not a quote I would dedicate a whole Quotes and Quips to, but it was a jerk move, I think anybody could say. And jerks are out there, and they're the ones who make life difficult. John Lennon had his ups and downs, career highs and lows, personal highs and lows. But the real drag was the jerk. He could have gotten through the other things. So I think Chaplin has a good point. But he also directs our attention to the fact that, you know, we have to accept a certain amount of misfortune, but there's also a certain amount of misfortune which we are honor-bound and duty-bound to avoid. You can't just walk into it. You can't just allow yourself to be manipulated or abused or done in or done for or done to. Beware of the jerks. If I had a kid, I'd say, look, life is going to present its ups and downs. There are some things you cannot avoid, but there are some things you can. Like a lot of the things on Quotes and Quips, it's a two-parter. You know? It's not the ups and downs that make life difficult. Part 1, accept what you cannot change. Part 2, it's the jerks. That means change the parts you can change. And it's pithy, it's clever, but they're words of wisdom, especially for anybody who's, you know, we don't choose our family, but we do choose our friends. So watch out for the jerks, because very oftentimes, when the ups and downs will come, those jerks will be closer to you than you think. It's the people who are close to you that can hurt you the worst. You know, generally a scammer on the internet or some kind of a chicanerous person can't really harm you that much. Unless, I mean, they can if you're a young person and you're hoodwinked into going to a meeting at a third place with a person you don't know, that could harm you greatly. Don't do that. But in general, it's the people who are closest to you who can do you the greatest harm. So you have to be wary of that, watchful of it. And I think this is what Chaplin urges us. It's the jerks you got to watch out for, not the changes, not the ups and downs, but the jerks. There are things you can affect in your life, and there are things you cannot. The jerks you can avoid, so be wary of them. Be aware of your surroundings. Know people, know how to read them. You can learn a lot about that in my book, Tracking the Lone Wolf. A lot of it is about body language, about critical thinking, about active listening, about really understanding better, not only yourself, but the people and the world around you. You can get that in paperback or for Kindle or an audiobook format at Amazon.com. Okay, that's all for today's Quotes and Quips. We'll be back for another one in 2 weeks on Monday at noon. I'm here alternating Mondays at noon with Quotes and Quips. And then other alternating Mondays, I'm here with my new show, Fletcher Rhoden's Pet Peeves. So check it out, won't you? You can also watch reruns of my 2024 run of Quotes and Quips. They're still up right here on this YouTube channel. And there's the 2023 show, Tracking the Lone Wolf, which is on its own YouTube channel, Tracking the Lone Wolf. So you can see that. You can buy my book, Tracking the Lone Wolf, Sigma at Work, at Home, and at Play, or any of my other books in all 3 formats, most of them, from Amazon. Check out my new album, I'm Possible. You can download that anywhere you like to download your favorite music. Go to my website and tune in again. Until then, bye, Mary.